Hi, Shiners. Have you ever looked at someone and wondered, how did they get here? How did they achieve all of this? There's something magical about dreams. They're like the whispers of our future, waiting to be heard. But what if I told you that your dreams, no matter how impossible they seem, are the most powerful tool you have in your life's journey? Today, we're going to take a deep dive into the power of dreams. But not just any dreams, the kind that spark fires in your heart, light up your soul, and propel you toward your purpose. So buckle up. It's time to turn your dreams into the reality you deserve. Part 1. The Seed of a Dream. Let me take you back, not to a faraway place, but to a time not too long ago when a young boy named Alex stood at the edge of a small town. It was a chilly night, the kind where the stars above shimmered like tiny diamonds scattered across a velvet sky. Alex stood there, looking up, lost in thought, wondering about a future that seemed so distant, yet somehow within his reach. You see, Alex wasn't born into wealth or privilege. He didn't have the luxuries that many take for granted, a prestigious education, powerful connections, or an easy path laid before him. But what Alex did have was something far more powerful, something that could not be bought or inherited. He had dreams, and not just any dreams. His dreams were massive. They were so grand, so ambitious, that they didn't fit the world he had been born into. His dreams didn't match the boundaries of his small town. They stretched far beyond, like an open sky inviting him to explore the impossible. While others in his town spoke of mundane tasks, he spoke of revolutionizing the business world. He saw himself building a company that would make a difference. It wasn't just about money. It was about purpose. It was about changing lives. But even though Alex saw the beauty in his dreams, no one else did. No one around him understood why he couldn't just settle for a normal life. Friends laughed at him, and people ridiculed him. You? On a business? You'll never make it, they would scoff. These words, though harsh, didn't bother Alex. They didn't wound him. In fact, they only fueled his fire, turning each laugh into a reminder that his dreams were meant to break boundaries. He was used to rejection. He was used to the doubts that plagued him from all sides. And yet, in those moments when the world around him seemed to crumble, Alex found something incredibly powerful within himself: resilience. With every rejection, with every failure, Alex didn't retreat. He took a step forward. He saw every no as a stepping stone, every setback as an opportunity to rise stronger. Dreams, Alex would remind himself, are the whispers of your potential waiting to be unlocked. Every night, after the world had quieted down, Alex would lie awake in his small, dimly lit room. The silence around him seemed to echo with possibilities. He would close his eyes and picture his future, a business thriving, lives being changed, people looking up to him not because of his success, but because of the way he had inspired them to chase their own dreams. This wasn't just ambition for the sake of success. It was a vision of creating something bigger than himself, of leaving a mark on the world that would be felt for generations to come. But no one could see his vision, not yet. And that was okay. Alex didn't need the validation of others to keep going. He knew that dreams were not meant to be understood by everyone around you. The world is full of dreamers, but not all of them dare to turn their dreams into reality. Alex had one goal in mind, And that was to show the world what it meant to truly follow your dreams, no matter the cost. And even though the path was unclear, even though the road was difficult, he knew one thing for certain. His dreams were worth the struggle. One evening, as he stood once again beneath that vast sky, he remembered a quote that had always resonated with him. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. It wasn't just words to him. It was a call to action. Alex had spent so many years thinking about his future, but now he realized it was time to create it. His dreams were not some distant fantasy. They were his future waiting to be built one day at a time. The world would doubt him and maybe even try to hold him back. But Alex had already decided. He wasn't going to be the person who gave up when the road got tough. He wasn't going to be the person who stayed stuck in the cycle of what-ifs and maybe laters. He would become the person who broke free from the norm, who went after his dreams with the passion and intensity that only those with a vision could understand. There were nights when he questioned everything. There were moments when the weight of his dreams felt too heavy, when the pressure of wanting more seemed like a burden he couldn't bear. Was he being foolish? Was he setting himself up for failure? But then something inside him would stir, a quiet voice that would remind him, dreams are meant to be daring, meant to be challenging. Without them, what are we living for? And that voice was all he needed to keep going. Alex's journey wasn't going to be easy. He knew that. But that night, as he stood under the stars, with the cool breeze rustling through his hair, something inside him clicked. He wasn't just dreaming anymore. He was ready to make those dreams his reality. His future was in his hands, and it was time to take action. No more waiting. No more doubting. His dreams were his fuel, and he was ready to burn with them. A dream becomes a goal when action is taken toward its achievement. Bo Bennett. Part 2. The Struggle and the Climb. Fast forward a few years. Alex's journey had been anything but smooth. The road to success was not paved with ease or certainty. It was rough, filled with twists, turns, and obstacles that made him question everything. There were days when the weight of his dreams seemed too much to bear. Days when he wanted to give up, to throw in the towel, and walk away from the mess he had found himself in. The world, it seemed, was against him. No matter how hard he worked, it felt as though every step forward was met with 2 steps back. But here's the thing. Every time Alex fell, his dreams were there to lift him up. Every failure became a lesson. Every setback a chance to grow stronger. And in those darkest moments, when the doubts tried to swallow him whole, he found his strength. There was one particular moment that defined his journey, a moment that changed everything. Alex had just lost a huge client, the one that could have propelled his business to the next level. It felt like the end of the road. He had poured months, even years of effort into building this relationship, and now it was gone in an instant. The weight of the loss hit him like a ton of bricks. He sat in his office, staring at the empty chair across the table where that client should have been, wondering if all his hard work had been for nothing. Was he just wasting his time? Was his dream a foolish fantasy? The future, once so bright, now seemed dim and uncertain. He sat there for what felt like hours, lost in his thoughts. He could hear the tick-tock of the clock on the wall, a constant reminder of how much time had passed, how much more time he had wasted. The air felt heavy, suffocating, and for the first time in a long while, Alex thought about walking away. Maybe this wasn't meant to be. Maybe he wasn't cut out for this. Maybe the dream he had clung to for so long was too big for him, after all. But then, in that moment of despair, a memory surfaced. A quote his mother used to tell him when he was young. "The darkest hour is just before the dawn." Those words, simple yet powerful, began to echo in his mind. It was as if his mother was speaking to him from the past, reminding him that the hardest moments often precede the most significant breakthroughs. The pain, the struggle, the uncertainty, it was all part of the process. And this was just the dark hour before his dawn. With renewed clarity, Alex stood up from his desk. He wiped the sweat from his forehead, took a deep breath, and made a promise to himself. No more looking back. He wasn't going to let this defeat define him. He wasn't going to be the person who gave up when things got tough. No more holding back. No more second-guessing. It was time to go all in. That decision, that was the game changer. The moment when Alex chose to push forward instead of retreating. He didn't know what the future held, but one thing was certain. He was not going to stop chasing his dream. Alex started over. He knew the path ahead wouldn't be easy, but he was ready to face it head on. He rebuilt his company from scratch, brick by brick. Every small step, every decision was made with his dream in mind. The climb was steep, and there were days when it felt like the odds were stacked against him. But Alex believed in his vision with everything he had. His setbacks were no longer obstacles. They were opportunities to grow stronger. Every challenge, every hurdle became a lesson, a chance to refine his strategy and move forward with greater purpose. Your dream doesn't care about your setbacks. It only cares about your persistence. That became his mantra. He kept it close to his heart, repeating it every time the road got rough. It didn't matter how many times he stumbled or fell. As long as he kept going, he was moving closer to his dream. And he was relentless. The climb, though exhausting, was the price he had to pay for the life he envisioned. Every day he fought, every night he worked late, was a step closer to his goal. But the real test came when Alex realized that success was not just about building a business. It was about building resilience. It was about having the courage to keep moving forward when the world seemed to be pushing him back. He wasn't just building a company. He was building himself, shaping his character with every challenge he faced. There were nights when the weight of his decisions seemed unbearable, when the fear of failure gnawed at him like a relentless beast. What if he couldn't pull it off? What if he had made the wrong choices? But every time fear crept in, Alex reminded himself the dream was worth the fight. He could not and would not let fear dictate his future. And so, with unwavering belief in his vision, Alex pressed on. Every obstacle he encountered only fueled his drive to succeed. Every person who doubted him, every competitor who tried to outpace him, only made him more determined to show the world what he was capable of. His journey was just beginning, and although the climb was far from over, Alex knew he was headed in the right direction. The setbacks? They became the very foundation of his success. The struggles, the heartache, the moments of doubt, all of it was part of the path to greatness. And Alex wasn't about to let any of it stop him. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow is our doubts of today. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Part 3. The Breakthrough Moment. A few years had passed since Alex made that life-altering decision to go all in on his dreams. The journey had been long and arduous, filled with sleepless nights, struggles that seemed endless, and moments of doubt that clouded his mind. But through it all, Alex had remained unwavering. He refused to let the obstacles stop him, and slowly, steadily, his business began to grow. Every sacrifice, every late night, every failed attempt was finally starting to pay off. But the real breakthrough, that came unexpectedly, in a way that he could never have predicted. It was on an ordinary Tuesday afternoon when Alex received the call. He had been sitting in his small office, reviewing some financial statements and trying to come up with new strategies to expand his company. His mind was preoccupied with a dozen different tasks when his phone rang. The name on the screen didn't ring any bells, but he answered anyway. The voice on the other end was calm, but filled with authority. "Is this Alex Taylor?" the voice asked. "Yes, this is Alex," he replied, trying to mask the fatigue in his voice. "We've been following your company's progress for some time now. We're impressed by what you've achieved," the voice continued. "We'd like to discuss a potential partnership." Alex froze. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. A major corporation, the kind of company he had once only dreamed of being associated with, was interested in partnering with him. They had taken notice of his small company, the one he had built from the ground up, and now they saw value in it. This was the moment he had been working for, the moment that would change everything. His hands started to shake as he took a deep breath, trying to process what was happening. I don't know what to say. "This is incredible," he stammered. The voice chuckled lightly. "Take your time. We understand this is a big deal. Let's set up a meeting and we can discuss the details." As the call ended, Alex sat in stunned silence. His heart was racing. He had done it. After years of hard work, after countless nights of worrying whether his dreams would ever come true, he had finally done it. His dream was no longer just a vision. It had become his reality. The business he had poured every ounce of his soul into was finally being recognized. And in that recognition, everything he had hoped for was beginning to materialize. It wasn't the money that mattered the most. It wasn't the fame or even the recognition from the corporation. No, what truly mattered to Alex was the overwhelming sense of knowing that his hard work, his persistence, and his refusal to give up had turned his dream into something tangible, something real. Dreams are the foundation of every success story. In that moment, standing in his office, Alex realized that he wasn't just chasing a dream anymore. He had created something. His vision, once so distant and abstract, had taken form. His company, the one he had started with nothing more than an idea and a burning passion, was now at the brink of something much bigger. And it wasn't just about him anymore. He had the opportunity to inspire others, to show them that no dream, no matter how big, was out of reach. Later that week, as he walked onto the stage to accept an award for business excellence, the gravity of the moment hit him. The crowd applauded, the lights shone brightly down on him, and he stood there, humbled by the recognition. The path to this moment had been paved with struggles, but Alex knew that the journey wasn't over yet. He had achieved something remarkable, yes, but there was so much more to come. As he held the award in his hands, the feeling of pride was overwhelming. But it wasn't the pride of personal success that filled his chest. No, this was different. This was the pride of knowing he had built something that could make a difference in the lives of others. A company that could create opportunities, employ people, and inspire the dreamers who were just like he once was. As he looked out at the audience, he felt a surge of gratitude. This moment wasn't just about him. It was about every person who had ever doubted him, every person who had laughed at his dreams, and every person who had told him that he would never make it. This was his message to them. Dreams are worth fighting for. And just when it seemed like everything had come full circle, Alex knew deep down that this was only the beginning. The recognition, the awards, the deals, those were just milestones along the way. What truly mattered now was living with purpose, not just for success. He was not just living his dream, he was living his purpose. The world had changed for Alex, but more importantly, Alex had changed for the world. The dream that had once seemed impossible was now his foundation. And with this foundation, he would continue to build, not just for himself, but for others who needed to hear his story, who needed to know that no matter how many setbacks you face, no matter how many times you fall, your dreams are worth every bit of the struggle. As Alex stood on that stage, looking out at the faces in the crowd, he knew one thing. His journey was far from over. His dreams were still alive, still growing, and he was ready for the next chapter. And this time, there was no doubt in his heart. The best was yet to come. It always seems impossible until it's done. Nelson Mandela. Part 4. The Power of Dreams in Action. What's truly incredible about dreams isn't just the success they bring. It's the transformation that happens within us as we pursue them. Dreams have this magical way of reshaping who we are, of teaching us things we never thought possible about ourselves. For Alex, the journey wasn't just about building a business. It was about building character. When he looked back at his journey, he realized that the person who had started with nothing but a dream had become someone far stronger, far more resilient than he had ever imagined. He had faced failure, loss, and rejection, but each setback only fortified his determination. Every challenge, every roadblock had shaped him into someone who understood the true power of perseverance. He was no longer the young boy gazing at the stars with nothing but hope in his heart. He had become a man who believed that dreams are not just for the few. They are for everyone. But it wasn't just resilience that Alex had gained on this journey. He had also become more compassionate. His dream had forced him to look beyond himself, to see that there were others out there just like him. People who were struggling, who were doubting themselves, and who were too afraid to take that first step toward their own dreams. Alex realized that success wasn't just about what he achieved. It was about helping others find the courage to go after their own dreams. His journey had transformed him into someone who wanted to give back, to share the lessons he had learned the hard way, and to show others that they, too, could achieve the impossible. And this was where the real power of dreams lay. It wasn't in the awards, the recognition, or the wealth. It was in the ripple effect they had on the world around you. Dreams, when pursued with passion and purpose, don't just change your life. They change the lives of others. They inspire, they empower, and they give others the belief that they too can make their dreams a reality. Realizing this, Alex decided it was time to pass on everything he had learned. He started a mentorship program for young entrepreneurs. Those who, like him, had big dreams but lacked the guidance and support to turn them into reality. It wasn't about telling them what to do. It was about showing them how to believe in themselves when no one else would. It was about helping them see that their dreams weren't too big or out of reach. Alex knew firsthand the importance of a mentor, someone who believed in you when you didn't believe in yourself. So, he became that person for others. He became the person who would stand beside them, encouraging them to keep going, to push through the fear, the doubt, and the uncertainty. When you chase your dreams, you empower others to chase theirs. This became Alex's mantra. As he worked with more and more young entrepreneurs, he began to see the power of the ripple effect in action. Every person he helped, every person whose life he touched began to pay it forward. They, too, were starting their own journeys, building businesses, overcoming fears, and chasing their dreams. The more Alex helped others, the more he realized something profound. Success isn't just about reaching the top on your own. It's about bringing others with you. The true measure of success, Alex came to understand, is not in how far you can climb, but in how many people you can lift as you rise. His dreams had brought him so much, but the joy he felt from helping others find the courage to dream and achieve their own was far greater than any accolade he had ever received. As Alex watched the young entrepreneurs he mentored grow into leaders in their own right, he couldn't help but feel a deep sense of fulfillment. He wasn't just helping them succeed in business. He was helping them succeed in life. He was helping them realize that dreams, no matter how big or small, were worth chasing. And in that realization, Alex's own life became even more purposeful. It wasn't enough anymore to just be a successful business owner. He had to be a steward of dreams, a guide to those who were willing to take the leap but didn't know how. He had to be the one to show them that their dreams were just as valid as his, that their potential was just as great. Alex's story had come full circle. From the boy who dared to dream to the man who turned those dreams into reality, he had now become someone who was using his success to help others rise. And as he watched the ripple effect of his efforts spread, he couldn't help but think that the power of dreams was far greater than he had ever imagined. Dreams, he realized, were never meant to be achieved in isolation. They were meant to be shared, celebrated, and passed on. Because when you chase your dreams, when you live with purpose, you unlock not only your own potential, but the potential of everyone around you. Alex knew that he had found his true calling. It wasn't about climbing to the top anymore. It was about helping others climb alongside him, lifting them up as he had been lifted. And in that moment, he realized that the greatest gift of all wasn't just making his dream a reality. It was helping others make their dreams come true too. And that, he knew, was where the real magic lay. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you're doing, you'll be successful. Albert Schweitzer. Part 5. The final message. And now, we come to the most important part of this entire journey. You. Yes, you. Right now, you might be standing at the edge of uncertainty, looking into the unknown, wondering if you should take that first step. You're unsure, maybe even afraid, and perhaps you're doubting whether your dreams are even worth chasing. Is it possible? You ask yourself. I'm here to tell you this. Your dreams are not impossible. They're not out of your reach. If someone like Alex, who came from nothing, could transform his life and achieve something extraordinary, then why can't you? Why shouldn't you believe that your dreams are worth fighting for? It's so easy to think that success comes only to the chosen few, the lucky ones. But let me tell you something. Success doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It doesn't come with a convenient timing. It doesn't appear just because the stars align. It's about creating that perfect moment for yourself, no matter where you are in life. It's about having the courage to take that first step, even when you're scared, even when the path ahead is unclear. Think of Alex. There was no perfect moment for him, no golden opportunity. There were only the moments when he decided to take action, when he chose to go beyond his doubts and limitations. And so can you. The world will try to tell you that you need more experience, more knowledge, more resources. But what you need most is the belief in yourself and the relentless drive to turn your dreams into reality. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity. Create it. I know it sounds easier said than done. We've all been there, standing at the crossroads, unsure of which direction to take. But let me remind you of something crucial. Your dream has the power to change your life. And in turn, it has the power to change the lives of those around you. It doesn't just impact you. It creates a ripple effect that can touch the people you care about, the people who look up to you, and the people who need to hear your story. But this power, this ability to transform not just your life, but the world around you, it comes with one condition. You have to dare to dream big. You have to give your all, hold nothing back, and chase your dreams with everything you've got. It won't always be easy. There will be days when you question your path. There will be nights when you wonder if you're making a mistake. There will be voices both inside and outside telling you to quit. But remember this. Every step you take toward your dream is a step toward your greatness. So I ask you, what's holding you back? Fear? Doubt? The fear of failure? Every successful person, including Alex, has faced those same fears. The difference is that they didn't let those fears stop them. They chose to rise above them. They chose to turn their dreams into something real, and they never let anything get in their way. Right now, you're on the edge of something great. You have the potential to make your dreams come true. It doesn't matter where you are in life or how many times you've failed. You have what it takes to make it happen. You just need to take that first step, and then another, and another. And soon, you'll find yourself closer to your dream than you ever thought possible. Remember, your dreams are the fuel to your purpose. They're what will drive you forward when everything else feels like it's falling apart. Your dreams are what will push you to keep going when the world tells you to stop. They are what will define your legacy. So don't wait for life to give you permission. Take it, grab it with both hands, and make it yours. You don't need a perfect plan, a perfect moment, or perfect conditions. What you need is to take action right now. And as you move forward, always remember, the power of your dream isn't just in the goal at the end of the road. It's in the journey itself. It's in the lessons you'll learn, the people you'll inspire, and the life you'll create. Your dream is waiting for you. Don't make it wait any longer. Go after it with everything you've got. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Eleanor Roosevelt. So what are you waiting for? Start dreaming today. No more excuses. No more doubts. Take that first step and let your dreams lead the way. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.